Customer and vendor lists are often easy to come by and get in an Excel format such that they can be quickly and easily imported into our accounting software. More often than that, I actually encounter a situation where I, say, have a company who's an e-commerce based company. They're selling online. And they come to me and they're ready to set up their accounting software, either because they hadn't done so already or it was just never done properly. And the bottom line is this: I'm going to want to get their item list, which from their perspective is really their price list. And I'm going to need to get that imported into the accounting software. And what we may find we're looking at is a PDF version of it. Or worse yet, we might only be able to get something out of a web page that has to be converted to a PDF, let's just say. Bottom line is, we're going to run into that situation where we have a complicated price list with perhaps lots of items and different columns that specify different criteria about the products themselves. And we want a way to quickly and easily get that into an Excel format such that it can be quickly and easily imported into the accounting software. And you can imagine how many hours of time that's going to save over having to manually set those items up. This is going to be the crux of this lesson here as we take a look at how to use PDF to Excel to convert PDFs of price lists as well as customer and vendor lists into Excel so that we can prep those files for import into our accounting software. There are going to be many use cases in which we can convert lists and where a tool like PDF to Excel is going to come in really handy. This is where you start to see the power of PDF to Excel. There are other tools that can be used to convert bank statements, but when you see what I'm about to show you in this lesson, you're going to see why PDF to Excel is so much more powerful than any other converter that's out there, because none of them are going to be able to do the kind of stuff that I'm going to show you here. At least none that I'm aware of. I could be wrong. But what we're looking at is a list, and I'll give you an example of a use case, and I'm sure you can think of many others. But especially if you're an accountant or bookkeeper taking this course, trying to figure out how to use this product with your clients. Let's say you have clients who are in the e-commerce business, clients who sell online. And let's say they're resellers. They buy from a supplier and then they sell stuff on their website. Well, then this is going to come in really handy because oftentimes your suppliers are only going to provide you with a PDF of the price list of all the products that you buy from them, or for that matter, all the products they have. And you're going to want to, well, let's put it this way, you're not going to want to have to manually key all that stuff off the PDF into an Excel sheet such that that can be uploaded into your shopping cart. For that matter, you might occasionally get a PDF with updates on pricing or anything along those lines where you're going to want to be able to quickly get that data into Excel so that you can update your shopping cart accordingly. This is an example of a powerful use case where PDF to Excel, of course, is going to save you a ton of time. The other thing I want to introduce here while I'm on the topic is, as an accounting or bookkeeping professional, once you learn how to use a tool like PDF to Excel, especially when you learn how you can use it in several different use cases, then you can do what I plan on doing, which is offer a document conversion service as something that you offer on your website, where, quite frankly, you can make easy money by charging, let's say, $250 a document or $500 a document. You can define the parameters in terms of how big the document is, whatever it might be. Offer 3 packages of document conversion services so that your clients, or even somebody who's not a regular monthly client of yours, but somebody who just is looking for a solution like this and doesn't want to have to themselves take the time to learn how to use a product like PDF to Excel, they can come and pay you, and to them, there'll be huge value in paying you $250 or even $500, especially if it's a large document, to get it converted. So consider that as you're going through what I'm about to show you. So I'm going to take a list. I actually found this on the web, and unlike in the previous lesson, I can provide you with the exact PDF that I'm using here so that you can practice on it. And this is going to be one of those lessons where I'm going to actually tell you right up front, break out Evernote or whatever you use to take notes, because there's going to be some very specific sort of commands I'm going to show you in PDF to Excel that are going to make this process so easy. Now, when you originally load it in, just make sure that you've got it, zoomed in to a good size so you can easily work with this, because we have to set up the tables to start with. And, when I looked at this, I thought this is a great example of a document to demonstrate PDF to Excel on, because there's sort of an inconsistency, I should say, to the layout, right? It's not immediately clear like a bank statement might be, where I have, okay, here's a table with my list of checks and so on. This is a very different kind of layout. So the question is, how do you do it? And I'll be honest, what I did when I first saw this was I went to my friend Lior, the owner of Cogniview and PDF to Excel, and I asked him how he would handle this, and he gave me, he laid out, exactly how he'd handle it. So I went to work, tried what he suggested, and it worked perfectly.
So it also helps to have a resource, which is great because that's what I'm here for, and that's what Lior is here for. And if you've used this product at all, and you've had the opportunity to work with Cogniview as a company, you'll find what I found, I'm sure, that their customer service is amazing. They're really, really happy to help you and make sure that you can get the most out of a product like this. So do make sure, if you've bought the product, that you take advantage of that rather than spending hours and hours struggling trying to figure it out on your own. Not that it's that hard to use, but point being, if you're stuck on anything, ask me, ask the company. There are resources here that are here to help you to shorten the learning curve. So what we're going to do is we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, right? So we're going to basically make a table out of each column. That's how we're going to start. And now I don't want headers. It looks like I might want this, these titles to be headers, but you're going to see why as I go on why I don't want headers here. Now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to shrink it down so I can see the entire page in one shot. And you're going to want to play around with the zoom on this, here and there, because you're going to, have situations where, and I let go of my mouse by accident. You're going to have situations where you're going to want to be able to zoom in to get, into the sort of fine lines, so to speak. So now I'm going to grab this. Oops, I went too far. And get down to the bottom right there. Now, always, as I mentioned in the previous lesson, pay attention to what's going on down here. What I really want out of each of these tables is I want 3 columns, because I want this number that appears here. You can see the 3-column kind of layout here. And this line came in a little bit out there. I want it kind of right on top of that line that clearly divides the two. And then what I'm going to do is we can highlight this and make this a key column. And I'm going to right-click right on that line and choose Split here. And again, looking down here, I want to make sure it split it exactly the way I want it split. Now, that takes care of one. Now I want to do the next one. So let's go here.
One of the things that you're going to see here is something that you won't see with any software that you might even consider to be comparable to PDF to Excel, which is that we can take complicated layouts that are inconsistent, right? And what do I mean by that? In a perfect world, the PDF that I'm trying to convert is very much like a flat file, right? What do I mean by flat file? I have my columns, I have my rows, and nothing about that layout changes. But in reality, we're going to encounter lists where that's not consistent. And that's exactly what you're about to see here in this lesson as we take a look at a price list that's got a very complicated layout. And what you're going to see is that PDF to Excel provides you with some tools that not only allow you to get that layout done in such a way that you get it into Excel in the right format, but we're also going to show you how you can deal with certain inconsistencies and anomalies that you'll find in the layout, and how to get PDF to Excel to recognize where and when, let's say, one line stops and the next one starts. So follow along with me as I show you this, because this is what the power really is in a product like PDF to Excel.
And the whole key to this is really doing it right here, so that once you get it to Excel, there's less work to do there. Bearing in mind that there's a lot of things that Excel is really powerful in terms of what it can do. So the objective here is twofold. First of all, it's to get the information as quickly as possible into Excel. But also, we don't want to sort of not take advantage of what PDF to Excel has to offer. So now, in this case, the table came in with a header, which I don't want. So I'm just going to click and drag that up. Kind of get the header out of there so that it's all data. And now again, I want my key column split here. It's amazing to me sometimes. And then I'm going to scroll down here so I get to the part where this table is. But it's amazing to me sometimes how accurate PDF to Excel is. It's kind of figuring out what I'm trying to do. It's probably more accurate than I am. So now I've got my table split there. And then we're going to go to the next one. 2 more. We're actually almost done with this whole document. That's the beauty of this. Scrolling up. Got my key column. Right click. Split here. Okay, and again, I'm going to scroll down on the bottom until I find the highlighted section so I can make sure that I'm getting what I want out of this. Got my numbers split off. And we're looking good. And one more. Oops. A little too fast on the mouse there. And this is where it might help because, you know, one table sort of begins to encroach on the next. So zooming in can help here so that I can pinpoint exactly the region that I want. And then I'm holding the mouse button down, of course, and notice I can scroll down this way. It's a little slow, but it ensures that I'm getting what I want out of this. And I'll let go, and I'll scroll down, and it looks like we got a little header space again, so we want to fix that. Got my key field, right click, split here, so my columns are splitting up exactly the way I want. And that's it. And all pages are the same, right? You might remember that setting from the last lesson, so I've got everything set the same. So now there's one more thing I'm going to do, and this is one of those things, this is why I brought up that you want to take notes, because everything I've shown you so far, you know, is pretty straightforward, I think, and it's just adding on to what I went over in the last lesson. So now what we want to do is I'm going to start with this table. So I've created 4 different tables, right? And we're going to use a powerful command because at the end of the day, I just want this into one big long price list, right? So I'm going to right click here and we're going to append table. And we're going to append table 1. Remember, I've got 4 tables. Notice that I have choices 1, 3, and 4. I can't append a table to itself. So everything's going to get appended to table 1. So I'm going to choose table 1. And I'll stick with the name table 1. It's not that important for me in this case to name them. When you're dealing with a lot of different tables, naming the tables can come in handy. It'll help you, find what you're looking for and make sure you're appending to the right thing in the end. So now here I'm in table 3. There's no more table 2 because that's been appended to table 1. I append this to table 1. Click this one, right click, and also now I have no other choice but to append to table 1. So I choose that. And now I'm ready to convert. Let's do it. Now the only thing left to do really is that I might want to take this kind of grouping here, CPU Intel, CPU AMD, and I might want to add these into a column. Now there is a way that it could theoretically be done in PDF to Excel, but based on the layout I'm not sure it would have been more efficient. You'd have to structure each of these tables to not include this, and then you would set this up as a field, and then you can set it to go in with the table, so it will just repeat it. But in this case, I'm thinking it would be faster to do that in Excel, because notice what we've got now. In column A, I've got a space between each. So all I really need to do is insert a column here, take this, come down to the bottom, Control-Shift-Up arrow, and paste, and delete. And then I just need to repeat that for each of these. So it only took a couple more minutes off recording to finish this. 951 items, it looks like. 1 through 951, and since they are numbered this way, might not be a bad idea to test it and make sure that I didn't miss any. So just simple formula, take 1 minus the previous, and there should only ever be a difference of 1. If there's anything more than that, then that means that I missed something, unless it was just left off the price list. But again, just a quick way, I always like to double check these things, especially when we're talking about a use case like the one I raised, such as wanting to import this stuff on our website. We certainly don't want to find out after we've completed the import that we left, things out of it. In less than 15 minutes, I was able to get from what we have here, which is a pretty complicated layout, to what we have in Excel, and get 951 items into a flat file that's ready for import into any place you may need to import it. And of course, you can massage this however much more you need to in order to ready it for import. That, my friends, is the power of PDF to Excel. Imagine the other use cases you can come up with. The other thing is, imagine this is something you're going to have to do regularly or update frequently. What you can do is we can save the layout. So let's go to Layout. and we can actually even better, you can save the layout, but better yet, you can export the layout, because this export file is something that you can hand off to one of your coworkers so that they can use it, so that you don't have to keep recreating these tables. So anytime you get this price list from whatever source you got it from, you can actually use this exported layout file, share it with other people that you work with, so that they can actually, you know, get the conversion done even faster than the 5 minutes that it would have taken me had I not been slowing down to explain it as I was doing it. And that's the beauty of this, my friends. We can get this data quickly from PDF into Excel and get it laid out nice and clean into a flat file, which is how we normally need it, so that we can get done what we need to and move on to more exciting things. That, my friends, is it for lesson 2 on lists in PDF to Excel. As always, if you have any questions, visit the answers forum at schoolofbookkeeping.com right here. If you're not a scholar, become a scholar. Sign up so that you can get access to the answers forum, and I usually get back to you with an answer myself within 24 hours. As always, I hope you got something out of this lesson, learned something, had some fun along the way, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.
Now you've seen how to get lists out of a PDF and into Excel for the ultimate purpose, once again, of getting that Excel file prepped for easy import into your accounting software. Now we're going to take a look at another kind of list that's going to come up frequently in our experience as accountants and bookkeepers, which is going to be an inventory list. Maybe very similar to the price list, but an inventory list itself might introduce some other dynamics and some other complexities insofar as the layouts that we're going to see. And we're going to look at how to use PDF to Excel to make that process of getting it ready and exporting it from a PDF to Excel very easy.